You guys, I think for some of you, minimalism might actually be an excuse to shop more. Hear me out. This is my closet. I've had it pretty much since I was like 3 years old. Most of my things are in there. I've had a lot of ups and downs with minimalism, like I've been a minimalist for 2 decades. And when I started my minimalism journey, as in decluttered all my shit, I started with my clothes, which were all in there, and a bunch of corners of my pretty messy bedroom when I was a teenager. So I reduced my belongings by about 70 to 80%. That's how much I got rid of. And then for a bunch of years, I would say I was an extreme minimalist. I had very few things, lived in a furniture-free apartment and all that jazz, until I found that it was a little bit annoying. I still really like extreme minimalism, but there are some things that, in my opinion, aren't very sustainable and a little bit nonsensical. I'm a fan of the basics. Are you a fan of the basics too? If you are, here's an example. This is one of my favorite shirts. It's from Muji. And I have it like 5 times or maybe 3 times. I stopped counting. I honestly did. And I have a really bad memory for unimportant things. This is part of my closet. It's a little bit messy. My shirts are here, and most of them are in the laundry right now. It's not super minimalist. The minimalism police is coming for me, aren't they? So when I was just starting out with my minimalism journey, I wanted to have as few things as possible. I didn't really care about how often I would have to do laundry. I didn't really care about how much sense it made to own so little. I wanted to have less than 20 pieces, and that was it. I got rid of most of my stuff, and I was super happy. It gave me a happy, tingling feeling in my chest to know that I owned so little. And it still does, depending on the category. However, this thing would also get pretty annoying pretty fast. Why, you ask? Because if you don't have a lot of clothes, first of all, you have to wash all the time. I had to go to the laundromat or wash by hand because I didn't have a washing machine. But also, if you only have like 1 pair of jeans, like I did, well, then they wear down pretty fast. Let me show you. This is my favorite pair of pants. I got them at the clothes swap, which is basically like a LuLaRoe clothes party for poor people and without the scamming. They're really pretty. I really like them. I wore them for 2 years. But now they're doing this to me. Right at the area where you don't need it. Right there. First world problems. Anyway, my point being, if you only have 1 pair of pants, it's great for bragging to your minimalist friends. For everything else, it's pretty much useless. Like, I have other pants now, but because I gained a lot of weight, I can't wear them anymore, so I basically only have like 1 or 2 pairs to wear. And they get holes everywhere now, and I really need other pants. So what I will do for the future is probably buy pants in pairs of 2 at least, depending on the price. But yeah, it just doesn't make any sense. And I feel like if you do minimalism like that, you're really not doing yourself a favor. You're just counting things. And it's not about keeping things simple. Just think about it. You spend the same time or even more time if you have to shop for new pants every half year. So if I buy 2 or 3 pairs of pants and I can sustain them for 3 years because I don't have to wash that often, I think that's more minimalist. So now we're in my kitchen. Look at my cress seeds. Yeah, growing my own green things. The reason for why we are in the kitchen now is because I want to talk about the minimalism aesthetic and sustainability as well. Just look. See these pretty jars? They're nice, right? A little bit empty because someone forgot to shop. It wasn't me. Also, pretty flowers my kid brought home. I actually really like that minimalist aesthetic that you see, especially on zero waste pages. I try to live as low waste as possible myself, but I kind of find it a little bit idiotic to celebrate that aesthetic to the point that you replace all your ugly ass Tupperware with pretty mason jars. By the way, they're not that pretty. This is what our cabinets look like. Pretty average, I'd say. Not very aesthetically pleasing. And that's fine. It's just cabinets. Like literally, how much time do you spend looking at that? For me, it's like less than a minute. It's like literally less than 0.07% of my day. Yeah, I calculated that. That's what I do for a living, actually. calculating stuff. Much more important than having pretty stuff, in my opinion, is having secondhand stuff, like this fridge, or a lot of these things. And that. Not that. But that's from my grandma. To me, a sustainable lifestyle is the most important aspect of minimalism, out of all the aspects. And if I have to choose, which I don't think you really have to, but let's say you have to choose between sustainability and minimalism at one point in your life. Like, would you want to bring this thing into your life rather than buying the crest in, a box or something like that? Yeah, I would rather own this thing because it makes me feel better. I like to look at it. I like to own it. I like to grow my own greens. And then last but not least, I want to show you some of our Tupperware because, you always see people replacing their old boxes with pretty new ones, and just, this is ours. It's basically IKEA. It's nothing special. These are cookbooks. And yeah, I think aesthetic and design is just totally overrated. I get it, I really get it. Here's my Anka's room, Swedish design, yeah. So, I get it. But most of this is available secondhand. Most of this is available in a sustainable way. And the most sustainable way is to replace it once it breaks, or at least to dispose of it in a sustainable way. Can you guarantee for that if you're getting rid of something? I hope you do, because I think practicing minimalism in a sustainable way is much more fun and prettier, as in it makes you a prettier human being, if you know what I mean. Subscribe.